I saw a really interesting movie called The Astronaut with Adam Sandler, which was amazing, amazing. And I typically don't like serious movies. So, but what I love about it is it has this alien spider thing. So he's obviously an astronaut. That's the name of the title. And he goes to space and he's in space for 6 months. And this guy's like super lonely, but he's so emotionally unavailable and he's so detached from his emotions, he doesn't even realize how lonely he is. And this spider alien being helps him start to see his past and see the things that has gone wrong in his life. And I love this part. Been around unavailable people. You know the pain, the heartbreak, the agony of trying to love someone who is just not there. And the spider alien thingy, this is what he says, and I quote him. He says, "It's impossible to connect with someone who doesn't want to see anything but himself, who only wants to connect when it serves him." And I just love that. How many of us out there are trying to connect with someone who doesn't want to connect with us? They're not there. Like, no, there's no one home. They're empty inside because they've locked themselves away somewhere where they feel safe. And hello, alarm. And they just want to be protected. They want to feel protected. That's like their goal. Their goal isn't to connect, but I mean they don't want to be alone either. So they will get in relationships and it's like this come here go away crap that happens. Or it's you're together and it just feels like you're roommates. It just feels like there's nothing there. And that's because they're just unavailable. Relationships are so important to our happiness and they're really intrinsic. You know, our relationships are everywhere, all around us. And if we're unavailable, then that means that we can't connect with others. We can't see them, we can't hear them, we can't feel them. And in this movie, he's married and she goes through a miscarriage and he's not able to be there for her. So if you're out there and you've had unavailable relationships, you know the pain of it is that someone can't hear you, see you, feel you, get you, anything, because they only want to connect when they want to connect because they don't want to feel alone, but they don't realize how alone that they don't realize how they're showing up in the relationship and realize that they're actually creating all this distance and this emptiness in the relationship because there is no healthy reciprocity. There's no healthy give and take. And it's just take and take some more. And when I saw this movie, I loved it because now if you're in a really raw place, it may not be good to watch it, but if you've had unavailable relationships, it just kind of helps you be able to verbalize and understand what happened in the relationship. And this guy's so traumatized by his past that he can't be available, that he can't even show up in a tiny way because she starts discussing, because she gets pregnant again after the miscarriage, and she starts discussing, like, how's it going to be when you leave? How's it going to be with this baby? You know, what's the cost of you leaving for 6 months? What's the cost of having another baby after losing one? And he just says everything's going to be okay, you know? And how many times do we shut other people down because we don't want to feel the feelings they're bringing up in us? We just want to say, hey, shut up. You're making me uncomfortable. And we invalidate them because we don't like the things they're making us feel. I was talking about how happiness is so important to our relationships. And if you have bad relationships, then that's going to be like a huge stain on your life. But just like with learning how to be happy, learning how to have good, healthy relationships, those take skills. And I love the phrase soft skills and what that means as like how you bring up a conversation. Hey, hon, is it okay to talk to you right now? Instead of, hey, there's a problem, fix it, and just like throw it right in their face. So soft skills are like how you bring up a problem. How do you do conflict resolution? Yeah, check it out, Stanley. If you like if you're a fan of Adam Sandler, like I saw a lot of his funny stuff, but he's a much better actor than like the movies he used to play in. And now when there were times when he cried, I wasn't sure if he was really crying. Like I don't know if I saw tears, but I felt it. I felt his loneliness. I felt his sorrow when he finally realized that he just totally ignored his wife who went through a miscarriage. And especially for people who've been in an unavailable relationship where you tried to love someone who couldn't love you because there was no one home. It's just so validating, and you see this woman's experience, and that it can help you process your own experience and realize that the losses and the heartbreak and the sadness that is probably inside you that you need to process. So it's and plus I love the alien thing, there's this alien spider thing, and as soon as I read the description, because I don't really like dramas, um I don't really watch dramas or anything like a really heavy. I've had enough drama in my life, thank you very much. So I read the description and I'm like, "Oh, there's an alien there." Like he contacts the alien. I'm like, "I have to see this." And it's this cool like spider being, and he can see his thoughts, and he helps him process the trauma of his childhood. And eventually the spider's like, "Dude, you're a selfish a-hole. I'm done." And he leaves. And Adam Sandler's like, "No, you can't leave me. Don't leave me." He even puts his hands on the spider alien thing. And the spider alien thing's like, "No." He literally chokes him out. And it's like, "I will, you will not put your hands on me." That's what the alien said, because his kind didn't touch each other. And it was just such an interesting movie. And relationships are so important to our own happiness. And how do we develop the skills to have healthy, rewarding, fulfilling relationships? What do we do with these unavailable people? Well, we try to speak up. You try to connect with them, but give it a time limit. How long are you going to wait for your emotional partner to wake TF up? 2 months? 3 months? 6 months? Because they don't know they're like that. They don't know they're unavailable. And if you tell them they're unavailable, they're going to invalidate you, say, "No, I'm not." They don't know. You know? It's like a colorblind person doesn't realize what the colors are that you can see. You can see more, like they're not self-aware. They've probably been like that for just decades and decades, and they can't get it. So, coffee break. So, how to do relationships, how to connect, how to find happiness in those relationships. It's important, and it's not something we're taught. So we have to develop those skills. And I'd love to hear your comments below. Let me know if you watched the movie. What do you think of the alien thing? It's super cool. I'll actually, I have a confession. I started it in the middle of the movie. I watched all of it. And then when I'm like, "This is super cool," I went back to the beginning and saw how it all started. And I felt the heartbreak of his wife as she was alone in that entire relationship, chasing after someone who couldn't give her love, attention, their time, their energy, anything. And it just hurts. I felt her pain. I've been there. I'm sure a lot of us have been there. Loving someone who can't love you. And really, I've heard this before and it makes a lot of sense. And if this resonates with you, then let me know. It's that, hold on, I had it in my head. Give me a second. That's my ADHD. That when you get into relationships like that, you probably had a caregiver or a parent who was unavailable. And what you're doing is it's not the loneliness, it's the you get used to that empty feeling, that longing. Yes, longing. Longing's the word. You feel this longing towards them. Do not confuse longing for love. Let me save you decades of heartbreak so you can heal. Do not confuse longing with love. Please learn to differentiate the difference. Love is this open, warm, welcoming feeling where you can just be yourself and it feels like anything's possible. That's what real love feels like, okay? Longing is this missing and there's no connection. They're not present. So you can't connect with someone like that. And longing, it's just this painful experience. So if you've experienced it out there, I know 1000% what it feels like. It's a very painful experience, but if you're listening to this, then God sent me to you and it's telling you learn the difference between longing and love. Okay? Give yourself a time limit on this person and then decide when enough is enough because you will waste years of your life on someone who can't see you, hear you, feel you, understand you, get you. You are merely just a reflection of them. You're there so that they don't feel lonely, but it ends up costing you. What's the cost? Your heart, your emotional health, your mental health. Thank you. You're welcome, Stanley. I hope this helps you. I don't know other people will hear it after the live. And after watching the movie and feeling this woman's pain because I've been in that experience, I was like, not only did the whole alien portion blow my mind because it looked like a spider. Can you imagine hugging a spider like he hugs it in the end? Like he developed this deep connection after the trauma he experienced as a child with this spider being, and they hug, even though the spider being doesn't, um, his people didn't touch each other. But he was alone and he was dying, so he wanted comfort. We all want comfort, understanding. We all want to be seen, heard, felt, got, understood. Like these are normal needs. Needs aren't bad. Needs are good. It's just, so hey, this is what I need. You know, just being honest with one another. So check that movie. It was really cool. If you're feeling like emotionally raw, I would probably say wait. You know, if you're going through that experience now, if you're going through that experience now of being with someone who's emotionally unavailable, watch it because it will wake you up. If your relationship has ended and you feel raw, I would say wait till you don't feel raw and watch it. And it'll help you start just processing that and then realize the dynamic. Hello, B. Be nice to me. Realize the dynamics that you play in your relationships. Are you always chasing people? I have videos on that. Are you always waiting for people to meet your basic needs? And learn to get in touch with your needs so that you can actually be happy because your happiness matters too. And oh no, oh it scared me. That was a really big bee. Oh, um, he's gone. Thank you. So learn the dynamic that you're playing out so you can stop. Because once you notice it, that's like 90% of the problem. Notice the chasing or notice the waiting or notice the feeling like you're having to beg. Part of you's like begging for love and attention and affection because it's like you don't feel you deserve it, but you do deserve it. And then watch out for the takers in your life and then manage yourself so that you're not just constantly giving to them, that you're requiring stuff back. I had a friend that I had to confront who was like that. She would take and take and take, and I had to say, whoa, slow down there, honey. My needs matter too. And then I got to see who she really was when I confronted her. So, needless to say, we're not friends anymore. So, but if you keep people in your life who treat you like you don't matter, who can't see you, hear you, feel you, understand you, then that's going to affect your self worth. So, our relationships not only show us who we are, okay, they reflect back who we are. So, they need to be good relationships so they can reflect back who we truly are and we don't get the other person's projections, right? Um, if someone doesn't own their crap, they'll project it on you. And so not only that, it contributes or takes away from your own happiness having unavailable or toxic relationships, which will affect your mental and emotional health and destroys happiness and love. So I hope you realize that relationships are key. to seeing yourself clearly, because they should mirror back and they help remind you who you are, and they help you so much. And also they contribute to the well-being of your life. And how much more enriching is your life with healthy, loving, reciprocal relationships versus trying to do it all alone? You know what I'm saying? So they're important. They're importante. So, anything else you'd like to say, Stanley? Check out that movie. It was pretty interesting, especially if you've had unavailable people in your life. And it's not just boyfriends or girlfriends that could be unavailable. It could be parents. And your heart has to grieve that, because you won't be able to be close unless there's a crisis that happens. A lot of times these people don't wake up unless they get professional help, because they don't know what they don't know. They don't know they're unavailable. They don't know that they're hurting their loved ones because they can't see them, hear them, feel them, understand them. Give it about 30 more seconds. I'm going to roll out of here. Sally says, thanks for suggesting the film. I'm just enjoying the stream. I've been learning a lot about toxicity and such. Yeah. Yeah, it's real. But it's like when you've been immersed in it so long, you don't realize how toxic it is. And that poison is going to affect you. And it's going to affect your mental and emotional health. So you have to like detox it out of your life, and then you could even crave it. You could even notice yourself starting drama and be like, whoa, I've been around it so long that it's affected me and how I act now. And it's just a process. It really seems like everything is just a process. Like we're on this planet. We're born for a reason. We're here to learn something, and we each all have our like homework and stuff to learn, like the school of life. It's a lot. I'm at peace with what I've experienced. Yeah, yeah. That's the whole acceptance and letting go. Len, I teach that, and I personally found that life is like this river, and check out my videos on letting go of control. I talk about this in more in depth. That life is a river, and are you going with the flow, or are you swimming against the stream? You're swimming against what life is trying to teach you. You're swimming against the experience that is happening instead of just accepting it, learning the lesson, and letting go. Life is just one big accepting, learning the lesson, letting go. Accepting, learning the lesson, and letting go over and over and over. And that's what I've seen over and over again. Yes, we're here for training. Yep. And then it's just life is just one big lesson in letting go again and again. And we have to be okay with that. Or we're going to cause ourselves a lot of pain, unnecessary pain and suffering, if you don't learn how to let go. Okay. So if this is called out to you, my contact information is below. Send me an email and I'll set something up. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope this message resonated with you. I want to hear your comments. Okay. Bye. Bye, Stanley.